right. A little more enthusiasm. Yeah. All right, introducing from Pet Sematary, Miko Hughes. All right, and from Jaws, Voorhees. From Sleepaway Camp, Felissa Rose. And from Trick or Treat, Samm Todd. All right, guys. You're older than I remember.
That happened. So it is so much bigger than it seems from that tiny room in there. I thought it was going to be like more intimate. This is awesome.
Well, we can just get people to move closer. Does anybody have any questions? Straight away. All right, well, first of all, Jeffrey Voorhees, I just have a question. How is it to be linked to two horror franchises, Jaws and Friday the 13th? I mean, you could say J. Voorhees, what would JB?
Well, it's working.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, no, I still live up on the island where it's visiting every island where they filmed it. And people come in, oh, Voorhees, is that real? And it's like, wait, we talking. Are we talking Friday the 13th or the movie Jaws? It's like, Jaws, yes, I died. And then Jason Voorhees, no, I just have the same name.
Okay. Let's see where we're going. So, how many of you was this your first film to do? So, it was all three of you. So what was it like for the audition process? I'm asking this question for all of you, just because everyone's green at that point in time. Everyone's children. Nobody knows what's going on. Sam, go first.
Oh man, the audition process. I sometimes make the joke that like I was so nervous naturally in my audition I had to cry that it just sort of came out organically. But that's not really a joke. It is legitimate. It's still a legitimate story. But it was my first professional audition, and I got really fortunate that like casting was really supportive and they really amped me up before I went in, and then the scene was crying and running and freaking out, so I was like, this is perfect. Don't have to pretend to have it all together.
Check.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. So yes, Sleepaway Camp, if anyone's seen Sleepaway Camp, was my first movie. I was 12 when I auditioned, and I met with Robert Hiltzik, the original writer-director, and he had us do some improvisation. And I felt immediately when I walked into the room like he and I had this great connection. I just loved him, and he was looking for a big, wide-eyed girl with no boobs. So I wouldn't have done it today. But it was such a fun audition, and then the second time around they asked my mom, has anyone not seen Sleepaway Camp? I don't want to spoil the end. I had a day. So they asked my mom if I would wear a penis. And she was like, sure, oh my God. She's from New York. Oh, like, what a question wearing dick. If she gets to lead in a movie, who wouldn't want to wear a penis? So that's how I got the part. Thank you.
Well, she was 12, and that's how old I was. I just moved up to Martha's Vineyard, Amity Island, and Spielberg, they were making a movie down there. They need a lot of extras. They said, sign up, you can be an extra, they'll give you $40 a day to be in it, and we all signed up. And then they called a few people back and said, read a line, and it's like, okay. And they go, okay, you get a speaking part, you get $140 a day. So, but then filming it up there on Martha's Vineyard, and if you know that in New England, the water is cold in May, and that's where they filmed it. So people were like, were you afraid of the shark? No, I was afraid of freezing my 12-year-old ass off. Because they filmed it before the summertime even got there. So that's how I all, you signed up to be in the movie and got it in, but it was fun making the movie.
For Pet Sematary, I was 2. So I think my biggest goal going into the audition was not to crap my pants. I know, I might not have succeeded, but I still got the role.
I mean, the two, are you cognitive that you're doing this, or they just like treating you like a pet? Go this way.
Yeah, well, after studying in Juilliard for my first year, the second year was a breeze. Yeah, no, actually, I have zero memory of the audition. I think my mom said I was just really precocious and I took direction well, or they beat it out of me. I don't know. But I think Mary Lambert, the director, really liked me and saw potential. And I know the studios really wanted to get twins. They, a lot of times, especially the younger kids are, the more they want to film with twins because of the legality of filming on a set. You can't have kids on set for so many hours depending on like, their age group. So they get twins because they can get more work out of them per day. They have more energy and whatnot. And Mary Lambert really fought for me supposedly, so because the studio wanted to insist on twins, and she said she thought she could get a performance of twins out of me. So that was lucky. Yeah.
Oh, you're going first one.
Question for Miko Hughes. Looking back on
I got you, so the microphone's coming this way. He's an ninja.
looking back on Pet Sematary, being that you were two and didn't know that you got in. He was two. Right. So, looking back on filming Pet Sematary, how does it make you feel knowing that you had the pleasure and the honor of working with Fred Wynn?
Yeah, it's amazing. I have a huge appreciation for him, and it's one of, like, getting to come to cons and do all of this and talk about it, it's the one thing I wish I had more memories of, or I could have known him when I was older. So he died when I was pretty young, and it was before I started doing shows or even knew about this whole scene. And, I bet he would have loved it, because we've done reunion shows, and he would have been right there, and I think that would have been really cool. So I do have some memories of him. He wrote children's books, and I have a couple signed copies from him to kind of cherish, so that was cool. Yeah.
We have a question over here.
Mika, when you did Nightmare on Elm Street, you did like a rundown from Robert England when you had to play basically a Freddy character when you did that scene?
Oh, that's interesting. That's a good question. Not that I remember. He may have, but I think we just the script itself kind of conveyed what needed it. I don't think he needed to like talk to me about, portraying the character, honoring the character properly. Because I think there's only a few scenes where I'm kind of like possessed and I'm just attacking. I don't think I have any like Freddy lines or anything I had to nail in that regard. But I tried to be as menacing as possible, I guess.
Now, how old were you guys when you were allowed to actually see the movie you performed in?
Yeah, so I auditioned when I was 15. I had just turned 15, and so I think I saw it right after like I turned 16. We had a showing, and my parents at that point, I was going to like Rocky Horror Picture Show conventions and stuff at like 5, 6, so they were like, do it, whatever, watch it, check it out. I mean, it is very strange. It was very strange. I remember to like see myself and be there with everybody, and I was like, this is so bizarre. It just happened. So, but yeah, 16.
I was 13 when we actually filmed the movie, and I brought my entire 8th grade class to the opening. Yeah, and it was definitely jarring because the first penis I saw was my own penis. So that was definitely interesting.
You too?
To see that. Yeah.
You made her blush.
For the first time.
Just everybody.
Well, I was 12 when they filmed it, and came out a year later, and we just went on Martha's Vineyard, Amity Island. The movie theater burnt down, so the movie theater is above the little town hall, so we all went in to watch that, and it was fun watching it, because all the little scenes in that movie, you know that, okay, they go around this corner, you're supposed to be in this town, and also you're in Gay Head or Vineyard Haven. But no, it's fun watching it, but you knew everyone in the movie. It's like, oh, there's, all your friends are out there. It's like, oh yeah, this is where you were getting eaten by the shark, and you screwed up so many times, and we froze our asses off while you went into a nice warm dressing room and warmed up, and we had to wait 6 hours for all that blood to clear out of the water. So, you know, the age of 13, we were all the way down to watch it. It was fun because you knew everyone in the movie.
I think I had seen clips of scenes that I was in when pretty young, so I wasn't too freaked out watching my own stuff. I think I was about 12 before I sat down and watched the whole movie for Pet Sematary, at least from start to finish. And yeah, it was weird because I knew pretty much what it was about, but it wasn't a new experience. And all the Zelda scenes really got to me because I wasn't there. I knew about it, but I wasn't there for the filming of that. So even though I was so little, like the stuff I wasn't, I had like a vague memory of it when I saw it. So it wasn't entirely unfamiliar. The Zelda freaked me out for a few years, for sure. Exactly. Yeah. And then I think New Nightmare I saw like pretty quick. I saw it like at the premiere and stuff, so that wasn't a big deal.
All right, so you've all played pretty iconic childhood roles, and we're all familiar with the concept of the final girl. If they were to make a mashup of a new movie where you're sort of playing those childhood roles and not like eaten terrifyingly by a shark, it's a new movie. Who's the final kid among the four of you? Who rises to the top? Who survives to the end?
Of the four of us.
Our characters from the movies?
Yeah,
Like they're all mashed up.
yeah. And not eaten by the shark, etc.
Well, I gotta have to say, if you've seen that movie, Jaws, Pivot, the black lab, and the girl Susan, 3 signs with her, she dies before me. So I died really quick in the movie, so I'm saying, if you have a new one with all 4 of us, I'm the first to go, so.
Or you could bury Jaws in the pet cemetery, then bring him back, and then Jaws has a penis and eats her.
Someone to get me. I'm pick up all your friends back there in that tiny, creepy room. We're gonna film next week. I win. Just saying.
Yeah, but that's on you, Felissa.
What's that?
But that is on you.
I think so. I don't think he's a girl, yeah.
Now, Felissa, I understand that your mom said that you were not allowed to kill anybody in the movie. It could be your hands, right?
Well, it was also SAG rules, Screen Actors Guild. There were certain laws pertaining to children in film. And they really didn't want my hands because they were pretty feminine. So they used Jonathan Searston, who played my cousin. And, just, it made for a better kill, kind of aesthetically, rather than my little girl, like, ooh, here's a knife. How do I use it? So they used Jonathan's hands.
Check and see if we have a question right here. No? Okay, well, while we're researching who's going to ask a question, I'm going to actually ask, what is your most memorable fan encounter? It doesn't have to be good or bad, it's just memorable, something that sort of sticks with you. I'd love to hear a story from all of you.
Okay, I guess I'll go. Some of the side, there's a lot of Jaws fanatics out there. And some of the signings, I would say this girl in New York, she was like, can you sign right under the collarbone? And I'm like, yes, it's just gonna come off in a couple days. And she's like, no, I'm meeting up with Peter later, he's tattooing over it. And I'm in the movie for a little bit and my name's tattooed on someone's collarbone. But a couple of weeks ago in Indianapolis, it was sweet. a family comes down and this one girl says crying away, Richie's right, this is about this, and Susan, the girl that asked before me, we were doing one in India a couple of weeks ago, and this girl was crying, and I guess the mother comes down and says, oh, she loves your character so much in that movie. And this girl, I was sending a picture, and they're like, she doesn't want to see Richard Dreyfuss or anyone, she likes your scene so much, and she was crying. I'm holding the picture up with her, and it's like, oh, that's sweet. I'm in the movie for a minute.
I had an experience at my first con, like maybe 5 years ago, where someone had a hand-painted picture of me that they were super excited to see me, and they were like, I've had this in my basement for like 6 years. And I was like, wow, you waited and anticipated for me to come out. And it was, I want to be respectful because I really appreciate the painting, and I still have it in my home, but it is an odd likeness of me. It's a little different than how my face looks, but maybe that is how my face looks, I'm not really sure. But I just thought that was like one of the sweetest, most amazing moments. And someone had taken the time to get a canvas, to sketch this out, to paint it, and they kept it in their home and waited for me to appear and brought it out 6 years later. So I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Sure. I think the thing that never ceases to amaze me is the tattoos of Gage. Whether it's a sleeve or whatever, it's like, it's incredible. And some of the artwork is amazing. Yeah, it's flattering. It's a little surreal. It's like, why is my little baby face on your butt cheek? Thank you. Like, I get it, it was kind of weird, but I know it's not me as a character, but that's like my face, yeah, that's pretty wild.
I have a follow-up question. If you're showing me your butt cheek, where are you?
Right in the middle of the con. It's happened before. The arm ones aren't as weird. There's one that's right next to a badge that like really kind of creeps me out because how many times has somebody just missed my little baby face? I'm sorry. That's so bad.
There's gotta be a question after that one.
It's a real tattoo. This is what keeps me up at night. You know it's happened more than once too. It's not a one-off. I'll leave you with that. Yeah.
This is such a difficult question for me because I feel after that with me, I don't know how I'm gonna. My face isn't on any badge. I love the conventions because I am incredibly grateful to be here, and just the connection and the stories with every single person that comes to my table just is kind of mind blowing. And I don't know, I've made so many amazing friends from being in this community that it really is the greatest joy of my life. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
You have a question over here?
Yeah, so Miko, first, hey everybody, I'm Todd from Harvard.net. So Miko, you deliver what is probably now your most famous line in Kindergarten Cop. Could anyone keep a straight face, or did they handle it pretty well the first time you delivered it?
It's funny, I don't remember the actual filming. The kids all cracked up, so I think they.
I'm sure.
And I think they probably did do it very impromptu to get a natural reaction. The story that my mom tells was that line was not in the script. There wasn't anything really written for me specifically. But they had all the kids in the classroom, and I guess they wanted to use me in some way, but they didn't have like a character trait or story or anything yet. And then they during filming, they kind of came up with what they came up with, and they approached my parents and were like, hey, we want to do this thing, it's a little out there, are you comfortable with it? And I guess my mom took like a day or two to kind of think about it, because was this going to be tasteful, was it going to be done well, what is it? And decided, yeah, it's innocent and it's funny, it's going to be one of the most memorable lines, and it kind of worked out.
And Arnold's face is priceless. What's that?
You avoided saying that line.
Was that a penis girls have a vagina? It's not the same when I say it as a grown man. Like, say the line, I'm like, it's weird, but okay.
Just back down to the taxi thing, so we're okay.
Yeah.
We'll reel it back. Anybody have a question out over here? All right, so, Miko, I understand that you have 30,000, or at one point in time, you have 30,000 bees in your backyard?
Yeah, that's
You're a beekeeper?
not currently, because I'm in LA, it's kind of hard to beekeep in the city, but back home, yeah, I've grown up as a beekeeper.
So what does that entail? I mean,
I don't know, I was like a kid, a nerdy kid, and I saw a documentary and I just thought they were really interesting and didn't have a dog or a cat, and both my parents and like, I want a beehive. And then they're like, yeah, we'll do something else next week. And I stuck with it for months. And they're like, all right, you can have a freaking beehive. It's fun. They're really easy to take care of. Kind of once you set them up, they just do that one thing. You check on them every so often. If you want honey, you have to be like more proactive. If you get like mites or, you know, you want to make sure they're good in the winter. They're pretty self-sufficient. Easy pets. Still your stuff. Bees! Yeah, why not?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
now, Jeff, I understand that you own a restaurant with the Wharf Club in Massachusetts, right? You had a visit from Lee Fierro, who did not know you owned the restaurant at the time. Can you tell that story or no?
Yeah, Lee Fierro, she was really sweet. We have a restaurant and it's like, oh, goddamn, that's Lee Fierro sitting down there. It was in the spring before it's at Madhouse. And it was her, some lady I didn't know, and it was just like 2 or 3 tables. So I told the waitress, I got this table. And I went down, okay, ladies, what can I have? And I stopped, I go, I'm gonna ask you a really personal question. Tell me to go away if it's a little too strange. And she recognized it, you could tell, but she just went along with it. And she's like, oh, what? And her friend's like, what the hell's this guy talking about? And I was like, do you believe in reincarnation? Because I think I died years ago, and you look like my mother in my previous life. And her friend's like, what the hell? And another table heard that, and they're looking over like, what's this guy talking? And then all of a sudden, Lee Fierro was like, oh my God, I had a son that died back in the 70s. She goes, how'd you die? I go, it was in the ocean. She goes, did you drown? I go, no, I think it was heathen. She goes, was it a shark? I go, I think it was. She goes, oh my God, you're my son. She gets up and hugs me. And her friend's about to lose bladder control, I think. And she probably had to turn around and say, hey, we were in that movie together years ago. She was a sweet lady.
Now, Felissa, what was it like on the set of Sleepaway Camp? I mean, it seemed pretty rowdy.
It was mayhem. It was like going to camp. It was, a bunch of real kids. We were between the ages of 13 and 17, including the bitchy counselors. And we just made out and swam and hiked and did canoe.
Did you get a boner?
And I had a boner the entire shoot.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's bigger now, Mika. I was in the water and it was cold at the end of that film. It was so fun. It was just camp. I didn't even know we were making a movie. It was like, woohoo! Let's all jump in bed together. It was 1982. Yeah, and I'll lead as well. So.
I'll go again.
Oh boy.
Relax. I'll get you later, Norm. So for each of you, is there a particular, say, horror franchise or even maybe a TV series that you would love to be a part of? What would it be?
Black Mirror would be cool.
Nice.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun to be part. I hear they're doing another Pet Sematary like prequel now. So I know. It'd be cool to do like a cameo.
After 2.
Yeah.
As you said, cameos. I do so many of those because I still live on the island and people love that. You get them, it's so-and-so's 50th birthday, can you wish him happy birthday? And I run my dogs down the beach where I was eating all the time. So I'll be down there running some dogs. It's like, oh, happy 50th birthday from the dead Alex Kittner. Have a awesome birthday down here on Martha's Vineyard, Amity Island. And it's funny, some of those cameos are crazy because a couple weeks ago, oh, our son's a big Jaws fan. Can you wish him a happy birthday? He's got to be one. It's like, wait a minute. He's a big Jaws fan or the parents? And one real strange one was, oh, our father was a big Jaws fan and he died watching the movie on the couch. It's like, can you sit? It's like, and I talked to the people in Chicago that run it. He's like, you don't have to answer those things if you don't want to. And it's like, oh, why not? And so I'm down on the beach where the shark swims through the drains. I run my dogs down there. And it's like, so, you hold your phone up. It's like, so this is from the dead Alex Kittner here on Martha's Vineyard. Your father and I had a little something in common. He died watching me die. I'm from the dead Alex Kittner saying hopefully he had a awesome life. And then they sent back 5 stars. Thank you so much. It's like I thought I was going to piss them off, but they liked it.
That's great.
Question?
Okay, we have a question. Great fun.
Looking back, this is for the entire panel, for looking back on your careers as adults, knowing that you were each responsible for either one of the most iconic characters or iconic scenes in your respective films, how does that make you feel?
Thank you for that question. I don't know. You know, I've said this to a bunch of people that have come up to my table. I really thought that like nobody was gonna see Trick or Treat. It wasn't released in theaters. I thought it was just gonna sort of die and like nobody was gonna ever watch the film. So the fact that people have really connected with the movie and especially with Rhonda is wonderful and just amazing. And I'm always so happy to hear that like, you know, that I portrayed the character in a way that was relatable to others and made it feel like something that wasn't being overdone or done in a way that was like disrespectful or something. So it means so much. And so it's just, you know, it's awesome. Bizarre.
Yes, thank you for that question. You know, it's definitely amazing, and it certainly feels wonderful to meet so many great people like her. Portraying Angela makes me feel good because I always say I feel like each of us have a piece of Angela in us. Like we've all felt awkward or insecure or perhaps like an outsider. So I embrace it and I almost feel like she's a child of mine who I raised up and I just thank all of you for being here, really. A lot of gratitude for it, thank you.
That's something that so many Jaws fans and stuff that at first I used to hide from it. I lived on that island, you get Jaws tours, people coming down, and for years I would stay away from it. And then over the years, people would come in, they travel all the way from England just to come down to see where they filmed it. And then so finally I started doing some interviews and some signings and like you get like a couple weeks ago, the Amity Jaws Club, and they got to 10,000 members, and they wanted me to do an interview. So it's just things like that. It's like you got so many Jaws fanatics out there, and it's it's fun. They come down from all over the world to Martha's Vineyard to see where they filmed it. And I have a little restaurant and bar, and some people from England came in, and it's like, oh, he's not here, and they're like, he's off island, we came all the way down, and that's when they finally said, just get on Cameo, so if you're not here, you can do a cameo for him. But it's just crazy where, this year, over in Europe is great, because I always thought I'll do 4 or 5 signings a year, and this year, 1 in England, 1 in Germany, because like the cameos, if you hear your phone beeping at 4 in the morning, it's snowing over in Europe or something, but there's a lot of Jaws fanatics out there.
Yeah, it's a honor. I kind of, this is Diane. Thank you. It's It never ceases to amaze me. I kind of feel like maybe I have imposter syndrome because I was so little, like getting to come across the country and meet so many cool people and do events like this. It's incredible. And I did other stuff besides horror, but just seeing how diehard the horror fan base is, that this exists, and it's incredible. I'm so happy to have been a part of it, and I appreciate that everybody enjoyed what we did.
Well, as a quick note, I'd just like to say I have seen all 4 movies, and I'd like to thank all 4 of you for scarring me for life.
Actually, raise a hand. How many people are scarred by these movies? In a good way, in a good way. I can tell you, I saw
Therapy not included.
I saw it, I was in 1976, I was 6 years old. My parents took me, I'm making it so Well, so my parents took me to it because it was a PG movie. It was a PG-13, they didn't take anything of it. But that's where I learned showers, no baths, no pool, no ocean, or anything. So what's gonna happen?
It's like, I stayed away from a lot of
You were just worried about being a girl with a dick. That's what they're all I loved you as your treat. All right, so on the topic of completely changing or something, was there a memento that you guys took from your film set at the end, like something special that you had that you wanted to keep, and why? What it was? What was it? Why was it memorable?
Got the plaster cast of my head that they did for some of the like effect shots as a baby. And for Pet Sematary, that's kind of cool. The fakes, or one of the scalpels, I think, fake syringe, with like an end when I get injected, it just retracts into the body of it, so it's like a prop. Some other like odds and ends, clothes and toys, and I think the biggest thing was from New Nightmare. They got some of the Rex dolls and some wardrobe, but the park, from the park scene, was in Glendale, and they were going to tear it down and like put in some newer, more modern stuff. And my parents asked them, "What are you gonna do with it?" I said, "Take it to the dump." And we live outside the city, like out in the desert, so we have plenty of room. And they said, "We'll take it." So I have the entire park from the movie in my like childhood home backyard. And for years it was super fun to have like sleepovers, and we had a trampoline, and like, yeah, for birthday parties, it was great. It was pretty cool. So it's like a really, really big prop.
You just set the bar. What about you guys? You take anything?
Unfortunately, I didn't. 'Cause over the past, you go to a signing or something, and like one in New York, this guy comes up with a briefcase with a combination on it, and he opens it up, and he has the 6 little pieces of the wrap that float up on the beach, and wanted me to sign each one. And I wish I saved some stuff, because that one guy, he had one of the actual wraps he wanted signed, and or the shorts. Someone's like, "What happened to the shorts?" And it's like, "Oh, I threw them away. I wish I saved them." But any little thing to do with it, people just still want, like, if it's on TV, you get a royalty check from Screen Actors Guild, Universal Studios, it will say, and we'll say the amount. It gets smaller and smaller. But like one time, I got a check and signed it, threw away this bottom part that says what network it's showing on, all that stuff. And in the restaurant 2 years ago, someone from England came in, and they said they have something on the table they want you to sign. And it's in a picture frame. I thought it was a picture of me dying they want to sign. And you look at it, Universal Studios, episode Jaws, CBS, the amount the check was for, my name, Social Security, union dues, everything. And it's 1981, something that I threw away. It's like, I go, where the hell did you get this? And they were from England. They go, "Oh, eBay on an auction." It's like, how much did you pay for something I threw away? And, "Oh, we got it for $8,700. It's like, oh my God. It's like, I wish I saved shorts and wraps and things like that, but it's funny.
It's incredible.
I'm sorry, that was me. I'll take
Please tell me you had it.
It was my purse.
Yes.
I kept a little diary. My mom had gotten me a book called Camp Memories, so I wrote all of that. How Jonathan Searston broke my heart because I was madly in love with him, and he was my boyfriend for like 3 days. And then I also have my original script, and it has like little Ziggy stickers on it, and it has there's a kill scene in it where Jonathan Searston actually dies, where he dies in the original script. So I still have that, and that's it. No penis in the house. I didn't take the dude home with me. Right. And the director has the actual mold of my face. So yeah, these are also good. I didn't even think to take a memento. Like I just I don't know what I was doing those last few days, but I also have the original script. In our we did a table read of the script like early on, and I remember Michael Dougherty told me that he said, "You're too personable, like you're too friendly with people. We don't want you hanging out with the other kids. We want you to know what it feels like to get rejected, to be alone." And so he was like, "All of us are gonna go to lunch. You're gonna stay here." And I was like, "God, this sucks." But I think I wrote on the script something like, "Learn how to be rejected. Get it down so that I can be included." But it was a helpful lesson. I felt rejected. Thank you very much, Michael.
Yeah, that's my other expense.
That's terrible.
Oh no,
It was good.
it's kind of a good lesson.
Do we have a question? We have a question out here in the audience. I should run it over.
I'm loud.
We trust you, but we're still bringing it.
You're gonna get mad because I know you ask these every year, but Sam, I know it's trick or treat, and then there's one I think a few years, but it looks like you kind of took a step back. What are you doing now, and do you plan to return? Because you were adorable and amazing, and we miss you. And
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I have like stopped acting relatively, and I'm always open to the opportunity to coming back. I feel like it's such a gift and a privilege. And I was commenting with someone here that like the last few years, it felt really like I was walking into every audition with like, I need this to live. You are paying for me to eat. Like, I just had so much pressure, and nobody wants to watch that. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to see somebody who's on the brink of breaking down when they're supposed to be like happy and having a good time. So I just thought it was best to sort of take a step back, and I've been working. I actually work in the financial services in New York, and that's what I've been doing for the time being. But I'm always open to coming back and would love to have the privilege and honor to do so. So it means so much that you're a fan, and thanks so much for saying that.
We have the same career, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Nice.
Uh-oh, I killed it.
I ruined it.
Is there a question out here at all? All right, so I'm gonna just ask another question about, is there a particular favorite scene, you don't have to be in it, in the movies that you're here for, that you actually love and cherish? You know, something is like, oh yeah, that's it's an awesome kill, it's an awesome happy moment, it's whatever. What is your favorite scene in the films that you've done? We can start with this one, but I'll open it up, if you got something better, roll it out.
I mean, for me, I recently did Hatchet 4, which is called Victor Crowley, and I just love my death scene in that. I think you really give it to me. Don't bring me something to the swamp.
I like the truck scene. That's hilarious to me. Just swish. Yeah. Swish. Roadshow.
The movie, John. What? Oh, there we go, I got it, thanks. No, any of the mechanical shark scenes. Yeah. Oh, there was. Yeah, all the mechanical shark scenes where you see the sharks swimming around. The shark's name was Bruce, and it was just fun because it's a small island, and it's like, okay, they're gonna film Bruce over on this beach today, and And the mechanical shark Bruce was it's a small island and they would store it at this little yacht club, and this is back in the 70s before they had, alarms and cameras, so every night we used to go down and open the window and climb all over Bruce and then, so all this things with the sharks were fun, and like at a signing down in Florida, it was a Field and Stream had a signing, they wanted 2 people at a shark tournament that were eaten by sharks to do a signing, and Susan was there, and the person that made the shark, he was there. And there you do the questions too, and they were asking me some, and then the man that made the mechanical shark, they were asking him, the shark broke down a lot, and the salt water was killing the shark, and it would take days to fix it, and they had a hard time with the shark. And when I got the microphone, I finally had to come out and say, okay, I was only 12 years old, and that shark broke down a lot. We used to break in and climb all over that thing at nighttime, so maybe that's why it broke it. He's looking at me like he wanted to kill me. So just any scene with the shark, it was fun, because people are afraid of that shark. It was just a giant thing you climbed on and played with all the time.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite scenes in Trick or Treat is the scene with Anna Paquin and where they transform into werewolves. I loved the costuming and hair and makeup in that film, and I thought that was always such an amazing transition that they did. So I have mad respect for the hair and makeup department on set, and so I always thought that was the coolest scene. I just loved watching that when I was a teenager.
Now, is there a dream role that you want to play each year? Is there something you want to do that's on your bucket list? Favorite thing to do? Like what character, what story?
I just want to work again. God. I like playing the villain. I think villains would be fun. It'd be cool.
I want to play Aunt Martha in a prequel to Sleepaway Camp. Because I just think it would be super fun to play my Aunt Martha, but tell the whole story, her backstory, and how everything came about. I think it would be really fun to see that come to life, the Aunt Martha story.
And I was active at a young age, and a horror movie, getting eaten by a shark, and I'm a big comedian fan, so I would stick with go to comedies, get away from being eaten as a little kid.
Yeah, I feel the same. For some reason, I have this idea that being on a sitcom would be really fun, but I also, I have no information on how that feels or what that looks like. So it's in my brain, of course, the fantasy is always, it's going to be the best, most fun time ever. So I think that would be awesome.
It's all awesome, man. Just I want to see it. We have film people out here to make that film happen. The prequel. I want to see that.
Yeah, let's get it. Doesn't she look amazing too?
Now, we're out of time. I want to thank our panelists, Miko Hughes, Felissa Rose, Samm Todd, go to the table. Their autographs. Ask the questions that you're going to ask you. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.